So in this video, I want to share with you a new cover crop that actually I didn't know about for years, and I just learned about it a few months ago. I actually got some seeds for it and I planted some out in the garden. So I want to share with you what this plant is, what it can be used for, its benefits, how I'm planting it and incorporating it into the whole gardening scenario. So let's check it out. Okay, so in the zone 6A climate, it is the end of December, and this is the hardy winter pea that can survive the wintertime, the freezing temperatures, and all that. It has gotten kind of decimated, or maybe a little bit more severe, almost annihilated by rabbits. As you can see, they're there, but they're kind of close, cut off close to the ground and stuff. So I think I'm going to put a little bit of like chicken wire or something like that around the planting area just to preserve these few plants. Protecting these 20 or so plants from the rabbits is certainly not going to make the rabbits starve. They can easily find other food. You know, I did try a cayenne pepper spray, and that actually worked until like it rained and all that, but that actually helped to keep the rabbit browse off of it. But I think I'm going to do the chicken wire now just for over the winter time, and because I have so few plants. But if you have more of these plants, you know, then that can support the rabbit population on this area without, you know, killing off all of these pea plants. But then you'll have more growth in rabbits, so you'll have to find some type of ecological balance there. So this is the winter pea. Of course, this is a little different from the regular garden pea, right? This one has the violet and purple colored flowers. This plant will also grow a little taller than some other pea varieties too. This can get up to like 2 feet or more. And so this is a plant, again, that gets planted in the fall, right? And it will overwinter even in this zone 6-7 climate. Might even go a little colder than that too. And then it will really begin to take off in the spring, and that's when it starts to flower and set seed later on in the early summer. Now this is a good plant to pair with like winter rye, because like this is a row of rye that I have back here. I did not do that this year, but this fall I would like to do a bunch of that, right? The peas can climb up the rye, and just kind of like how grains and legumes for a human diet can kind of form a complete protein, where the rye is of course a grain and the winter pea of course is a legume. It's also really good for soil health, right? Because when you combine these two crops, even just on a basic level of soil health, you have the rye, which is really building a big root system in the soil, and right, so it's adding a lot of carbon, a lot of biomass into that soil. And then the winter pea is helping to facilitate the fixation of nitrogen into that soil as well. So you get the carbon and the nitrogen into the soil, and so you get, you know, more crop diversity rather than just planting rye or just planting the peas or whatever. You're planting both of them. Now, of course, during the wintertime, the winter pea can be susceptible to a lot of herbivory, like rabbits, maybe larger animals like deer and such like that as well. So if you're going to plant them as a cover crop, definitely like plant a lot. Protect them as necessary. You know, these are plants, they can withstand a little bit more browse than like your traditional garden pea. They're a little bit more resilient than that, but you know, still, if you want to be able to collect some seeds for ensuing years to plant and whatnot, you know, you might even want to consider protecting them, or some of them anyway, you know, maybe by fencing or some sort of repellent, whatever the case may be. So the winter rye and the winter pea can be paired as a cover crop mix. These plants do really well together. The peas will also climb up the rye, and the rye kind of gives the peas a little bit more support as well as they continue to grow up. Now there may be some questions if these peas are edible. You know, I have eaten the shoots. This guy looks a little not great right now. I'm not totally sure why that is, but I have eaten the shoots, and then I've eaten the immature seed pods as well. The shoots are fantastic. The seed pods are not quite as sweet and not quite as large, and they are a lot more fibrous too than your traditional garden pea. To me, they're not bad, right? But I can totally see where a lot of other people might not really grow it as a prime food crop, right? But the purpose of this plant is as a cover crop, but I really haven't done too much experimentation with this. But the shoots, the pea shoots are really delicious, and the flowers have a really beautiful look to them as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video on this really cool cold tolerant legume that can help to support microbial growth in the soil, the fixation of nitrogen, covering the soil, and all its different attributes. So thank you so much for checking out this video. I appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you in a future video. Take care.